Yeah, so I'm a senior at Broken Arrow High School. I go to tech in the afternoons. I work 2 jobs when I'm not at school or at church. Do mission trips when I can every spring break / in the summer. And tonight I'm talking about no regrets. How do I get this to not echo? Alright, well, can you put that first picture I had? So when I say no regrets, you probably think of this page, but this is really nice. And like this, regrets have like a very negative connotation. And I'm here to talk about how regrets don't necessarily have to be so negative. You can learn a lesson from them, either just like spiritually or emotionally or whatever. So yeah, like negative regrets, like when I was, my mom actually doesn't know. That's my mom in the back. When I was a kid, my mom and dad both worked during the day, so I would go to my Aunt Kitty's house. And my Aunt Kitty was a very strong Catholic woman, and she would take me out and just do random stuff. So one day I was playing in a McDonald's playpen like area, and it was one of those ones with the tubes, like with different bubbles and stuff. And me and this other kid were at the very top, just like I think we were acting like we were like flying a spaceship. And this girl climbs up the tubes, and it's just me and this dude. And the dude leans over, he's like, "Hey, what's your name?" I said, "Hey, my name's Cole." I said, "This is a boys only bubble." I said, "What?" I said, "Push that girl down the slide." So I was like, "All right, bet." So I walked over, and she's like, "Hi." And like, "Hey." And she's like, "Can I play up here?" I was like, "No." She was like, "Oh, okay." And she like starts crying because we're like 4-year-olds, and she like starts crying and goes down. I'm like, "Yeah, boys only." And then her dad gets like super pissed. Can I say that? She's super pissed. And so he's just waiting for me to come down off the toys. So I'm just chilling at the top because he's too big. He can't come get me. So I wait for my aunt to talk him down, and then I come down and I just like run out because I'm not dealing with that guy. And I get out into the car and Kitty's like, "Cole, are you kidding me?" It's like, "I'm sorry, you told me to. I thought it would be funny." And so she was like, "I won't tell your parents if you promise to never do this again, ever." I was like, "Okay, got it, I'll do it." So I don't really know what I learned from that, except for like, don't piss off girls' parents because they're scary. Yeah, so I'm going to share a verse with you guys, Proverbs 16:9. The heart of, is it up there? Oh. I've got a different version, but it's the same thing. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. So this is really just bringing it back to what I'm talking about, how you can learn and for yourself what God's plans are through your mistakes. Sometimes, I'm not saying make mistakes, but sometimes your mistakes help God to show you what's up. So, I've made plenty of mistakes. My first 2 years of high school were really just mistakes. I got in with the wrong crowd, was partying, hanging out, just doing whatever I wanted, no regrets, right? But not good regrets, or not good, no regrets, whatever. And so that was really first 2 years of my high school, was just doing whatever I wanted to, going where the wind takes me, just whatever. And then I got a girlfriend that I was like, okay, yeah. And then I decided, I was like, she deserves a better guy than how I am right now, so I decided to just drop all that right now. Yeah, hold on, it gets worse. So yeah, I don't do any of that for probably a year and a half. And at the beginning of our relationship, I had told her just everything I'd done, just to clean the slate on like secrets in our relationship. So I just told her everything I'd done. And she doesn't clean her phone. So she still had that conversation, and we were dating probably 6-7 months, and we're talking one night, and she just stops replying. So I'm like, okay, whatever. She probably just phoned dad or whatever. I don't know. So then I get to school the next day, and we would park next to each other in the parking lots. Like goals, am I right? And I get there, and I pull up, and she's just bawling her eyes out. And she has all the clothes that she's borrowed from me, like stacked up neatly in the seat beside her. So I'm like, dang. So then I get there, and she says, my dad saw our conversation about everything you've done, like freshman, sophomore year. And so he said we can't be together anymore, which sucked. So that's a major regret, is those first 2 years of high school. But it's also not all that awful, because now I can relate to people that are in that kind of area of life, just if they're partying or just doing stuff they think shouldn't be doing. I can really connect with them in a way I couldn't have before. So I feel like that brings it back to what Proverbs 16:9 is talking about. Just our steps are our own, but God decides how we're going to make them. And then I'm going to share another story about when I lived without regrets and actually had a good outcome. So throughout elementary school, I was a nerd. I was going to give some context, but okay, so there it is. Elementary school, I'm a nerd. I had nerdy friends. I played like Roblox and Minecraft and all that. Yeah. But then middle school came around, and I decided I was going to reinvent myself. I was going to be cool. So I got contacts, grew my hair out, and I started playing football with all the cool kids. And I really just kind of left my nerdy friends in the dust, that's a regret, but that's not the story. So I'm with the cool kids all throughout middle school. It's all great and all. And then 8th grade, finally just ready to get out of middle school. I'm tired of people poking me on Facebook and all that junk. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Yeah. So this kid, I'm not going to say his name. I almost did, but I'm not going to say his name for privacy reasons. But he was one of my friends from elementary school that I hadn't talked to in 2-3 years. And for whatever reason, jealousy or whatever, he decided to make a fake Instagram account and started just poking fun at my cool friends. And they found out it was him, so they would give him crap for it every lunch. And one day we were this went for like months after the incident. Like he apologized, all that junk, and said, but still my like football friends would poke fun at him at lunch and throw stuff at him. So we were sitting there one day, and he would always sit like 2 tables down. And my friend goes, "Hey Cole." I'm like, "What?" He says, "Go flip his tray." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I stand up and I'm walking over, and I'm like, "Dude, at one point just like, because he was bullying them, but like, are we not just bullying him now? Like, I think he's paid for what he did." So I walk over, and he looks up to me, and he just looks at me, and he just has like fear in his eyes because he thinks he knows what's coming. So I'm like, "Dude," he's like, "What?" I said, "Give me a high five." He said, "What?" I said, "Give me a high five. I'm sick of just messing with you. Just give me a high five and we'll call it quits." He says, "All right, give me a high five," and I walk out of the cafeteria. And that was like kind of my last, like I didn't hang out with the cool kids and like that anymore, because they saw that and they're like, "Dude, what the heck, what's wrong with you?" And I totally forgot about this instance until my 18th birthday in November. I'm in the back of a truck. Not the back of the truck. But like, hold on. I'm in the back seat of a truck, like in the cab. Coming back from Colorado, where we could do a ski trip every Thanksgiving break. And I'm just hanging out. It's my birthday, so I'm getting like happy birthday tweets and all that. And I see I got a DM from this guy that I haven't talked to since I gave him a high five in the 8th grade lunchroom. And I'm like, whatever, who cares? I just kind of like deleted it off of my lock screen. And then I'm looking at Instagram later that night and I just look at it and it says, dude, Facebook told me that it was your 18th birthday today. And I figured I'd just tell you happy birthday and let you know that what you did for me in the cafeteria all those years ago really just changed my year for me. What? Yeah, that's the Instagram account he made. Yeah, so he says, yeah, you stopped all the bullying for me that year. All that, and just all that stuff, and I almost cried in the back of the seat of my truck, his truck, because I just hadn't thought about it or really gave it any thought since I gave it. And I think that's really just a testament to how much just something so small, and even though we might regret it because it might cost us friends, it can really change somebody's year or even life, really. So yeah, it's kind of the end of my lesson. So I really just challenge you guys to try to make somebody's day as you go about these last couple months. I know it's hard because you really just want to get out of there and have summer, but just something super small, like giving a dude a high five with the cafeteria, can change his year.